prayer by the chaplain.
Please pray with me. O great God, I come to this place today to bless those who execute the business of leadership, the task of governance. I humbly request your insight, your wisdom, your knowledge to inform this body. I ask for the ability, O great God, to think modestly of our own selves and to think generously of our colleagues. I ask, O great God, for the ability to ruthlessly examine our own motives and graciously understand our colleagues' motives. I ask for this blessing because there is honor in being a leader. And for those who aspire to this post, there is both a high expectation and a great responsibility. When the business is challenging, God, please provide insight to the willing, make us compassionate in our victories and respectful in our defeats. Allow us the perspective that we are players in a larger drama that has years of history before us and a future stretching forward. May the peace of God rest upon all who hear these words. In His name, amen.
Members, our guest chaplain for today is Reverend John Just from Timberwood Church in Nisswa, Minnesota. Members, if you would please remain standing as Anna Just leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. The clerk will take the roll. The clerk will close the roll. A quorum is present. The clerk will read the journal for the preceding day.
Journal of the House, 87th session, 2012, 87th day, St. Paul, Minnesota, Thursday, March 15, 2012.
If there are no objections, further reading of the journal will be dispensed with, and the journal will stand as corrected by the chief clerk. Hearing no objections, the journal stands as corrected by the chief clerk. Comparison reports. There's a copy of this order of business on each member's desk. If there are no objections, the motions will prevail. Hearing no objections, the motions prevail. Reports of standing committees and divisions. Copy of this order of business has been placed in each member's desk. If there are no objections, the reports will be adopted. Hearing no objections, the reports are adopted. Second reading of House files.
Second reading House File 718.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 1838.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 1998.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 2084.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 2354.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 2530.
Second reading.
House File 2621.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 2647.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 2651.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 2738.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 2741.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 2759.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 2762.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 2788.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 2789.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 2801.
Second reading.
Second reading Senate File 2821.
Second reading.
Second reading House File 2870.
Second reading. Second reading of Senate files.
Second reading, Senate File 1542.
Second reading.
Second reading, Senate File 1620.
Second reading.
Second reading, Senate File 1917.
Second reading.
Second reading, Senate File 1143.
Second reading. Introduction and first reading of House files. The following House files have been offered for introduction today. Chief Clerk will report these House files and give them their first reading.
Introduction and first reading of House Files 2913 through 2938.
First reading, House File 2913 through 2938. Messages from the Senate.
Message from the Senate. Mr. Speaker, I hereby announce the passage by the Senate following Senate file herewith transmitted. Senate file numbers 1735, 2131, and 2296. Signed, Cal R. Ludeman, Secretary of the Senate.
Call the member from Dakota, Representative Holberg.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Pursuant to Rule Number 1.22, it is my intention to place House File 2738 on the fiscal calendar for Tuesday, March 20th, 2012.
First reading of Senate files.
Introduction and first reading of Senate File 1735, an act relating to financial institutions. Anderson D. moves that Senate File 1735, House File 2227, now on the General Register, be referred to the Chief Clerk for comparison.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
Introduction and first reading of Senate File 2131, an act relating to transportation. Vogel moves that Senate File 2131 and House File 2378, now in the General Register, be referred to the Chief Clerk for comparison.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
Introduction and first reading of Senate File 2296, an act relating to elections. Sanders moves that Senate File 2296, House File 2545, now in the General Register, be referred to the Chief Clerk for comparison.
Hearing no objections, so ordered. Report from the Committee on Rules and Legislative Administration.
Report from the Committee on Rules and Legislative Administration. Pursuant to Rule 121, Dean designates the Rules Committee designates the following bills to be placed on the calendar for today for Monday, March 19, 2012. Senate File Number 1567 and House File Numbers 2308, 1923, 2174, 1629, 2253, 2244, and 2676.
Call the member from Washington, Representative Dean.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to move a recess to the call of the chair for approximately 1 hour.
Representative Dean moves a recess to the call of the chair for approximately 1 hour. Discussion. The member from Hennepin, Representative Thiessen.
Thank you. DFL members will meet upstairs in whatever room number that is on the third floor immediately after session. Recess. Thank you.
Hearing no other discussion, all those in favor of the Dean motion signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. The motion prevails. The House stands in recess to the call of the chair approximately 1 hour.